All right, the final of Indian Wells on the men's side is set. We've got Carlos Alcaraz versus Daniil Medvedev. What a final. And we had a great day of tennis where we saw Alcaraz versus Sinner and Medvedev taking on Tommy Paul. Both matches were pretty similar, actually, in the way that they kind of progressed through. Huge win for Alcaraz over Sinner. Many people were thinking Sinner's the number one player in the world right now. Alcaraz, is he back in form? He goes ahead 5-4 in the head-to-head. And Tommy Paul played some fantastic tennis against Daniil Medvedev and gave him a serious scare. And we'll talk about what happened in the tiebreaker that might have kind of shooken things up for him. But anyways, great day of tennis there on semifinal Saturday at Indian Wells. So let's look back at it, break it down, and preview Sunday finals day. Thanks for being here, folks. If you have not yet, smash the subscribe button because scientific evidence has been coming out that if you subscribe to the slice, you become a better tennis player. It's not, I didn't make the rules, so thanks for subscribing. Also, if you're wondering who this hat is, it's the Camus Blazers, the greatest junior hockey club on earth. Totally side note. Not important based on or compared to what happened today in Indian Wells. Like I said, we had the anticipated, frothing, excited matchup between Carlitos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. Basically, the two biggest young studs on the tour. Obviously, they've won 3 majors between them already, and they have a combined age of less than Roger Federer. So let's just put it that way. A combined age of less than Roger Federer's age. They're amazing. And this was the matchup that we were, hoping for on the bottom half of the draw when the draw came out. They started, it was like, I think 2-1, and then the rains came. And there was like a 3 or 4 hour delay. You saw these guys coming back onto the court, smiling, chopping it up. Obviously, just two great guys. And they played a great match. Jannik Sinner comes out in this match playing better, playing unbelievable defense, moving extremely well. So what I saw early on in the first set, especially after the rain delay, was Alcaraz trying to attack and Sinner moving so well, being super balanced to defend on those attacks and then counterpunch. Because to me, Sinner always has a slightly bigger through the court power. I think Alcaraz has a slightly heavier ball on the forehand, but on both wings, Sinner can really deliver knockout punches, and he did really well in the first set of countering and defending Alcaraz's attacks, and then going on offense very well. You can see from the stats in the first set, his first serve percentage was 71% compared to 56 for Alcaraz. So Sinner just had a better serving performance in the first set, winning 65% and 86% of his serves, first and second. And Alcaraz, on the other hand, won only, he didn't make that many first serves, but he only won 50% of them anyways. So first set, Sinner. Second set, Alcaraz started to play a bit better and also started to be more creative. It started to use more of his variety, drop shotting more, that drop shot becoming more effective, coming into the net more often and just chopping things off. And I think it kind of made Sinner less confident in his movement and therefore less confident in his defense. So Alcaraz was able to change his tactic a bit mid-match, which is good because, I saw Ben Rothenberg point out on Twitter, he has struggled to do that before. Sometimes he'll just try and hit his way out and just go too big and start missing more. But he was able to really shift just his tactics and play a little bit better and just make the game more dynamic, not just trading blows with Sinner from the baseline, who was just not missing a beat. So he takes the second set and we go 3 sets, which is what we all wanted. And then at 1-1 in the third set, Sinner goes for the dive. Crazy rally. We already had one of the craziest points of the year earlier. This was another crazy point. Sinner dives for the ball, gets it up, throws his racket, and rolls. But as you can see, Alcaraz is right there to just win the point. Probably not the smartest dive from Sinner because really at that point, they're just like, unless you could flick it cross court. Obviously, it happened so quick. He made a choice. He's an insane competitor, so we love that. But he looked to hurt his wrist on the play. And after that, he seemed to fade a bit physically against Alcaraz. So that third set, Alcaraz kind of really pulled forward, and Sinner looked a little bit physically not at his best. So that was a bit of a disappointment there. Carlos outlasts Sinner physically, finds a way to get Sinner out of his comfort zone, because in the first set, 6-1 looked very clean from Sinner, and it was looking like one-way traffic a little bit, but kudos to Alcaraz. So is Alcaraz getting his mojo back? I guess he's back in a final. It's his first final since Cincinnati of last year, and there was a lot made of that. Where is he going? Why doesn't he make finals anymore? Did the loss to Djokovic in Cincinnati mentally hurt him? I don't think any of that was the case. I think he's been trying his best, and now he's put it together. He just took out Sinner, who's Sinner, with 16 match wins in a row, I believe, since the start of the year. Hadn't lost since the semifinals of the ATP finals last year, or the final. I got that mixed up. But so Alcaraz has just said, I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. Why were you stressing or worrying or criticizing me? So big win for Alcaraz. I think confidence win. Now he goes into the final to face Daniil Medvedev, who took out Tommy Paul in a great match after the second match of the day. Here, we saw Tommy Paul come out and win the first set 6-1. Both sets were won 6-1 by the person who lost in the semifinals. Again, there's a lot of similarities between these matches, but Tommy came out playing great. Brad Stein, his coach, friend of the show, I tweeted out, I'm assuming his game plan for Tommy was to serve and volley, especially on the deuce side, which he did. We've seen Djokovic do that against Medvedev. We've seen Kyrgios do that against Medvedev. Medvedev's returning from the back wall. Tommy Paul super comfortable coming forward. He slides it off the court, comes in behind it, and was chopping volleys off. And he was just playing great attacking first ball tennis when he could. So when he had an opportunity to attack, he really went for it and was playing clean. And Daniil came out a bit flat and was kind of couldn't get his footing because Tommy was playing so aggressively. So that was great stuff from Tommy. First set quick, and then it's a bit of a more even second set. Goes into a tiebreaker, and like the Sinner Alcaraz match, a bit of an injury at, I forget what point, but it was kind of midway through the tiebreaker. Tommy jumps in the air and then rolls his ankle when he comes down, and lost like the next 3 or 4 points in a row. Loses the tiebreaker after being down. Actually, yeah, he was down, I think 5-2 in the second set. So Medvedev goes up, Tommy breaks back, holds, breaks back, holds, gets into the tiebreaker. So really not the best, cleanest, most dominant match from Medvedev at all, but he kind of found a way to get through that tiebreaker, found a way to close out that second set, and then again physically kind of outlasted Tommy, who had rolled his ankle. It didn't look so super serious. I don't think he got any medical treatment, but it's never a good thing to roll your ankle like that. It puts the thought in your mind, and I'm sure pain in your foot. So he wasn't able to kind of keep the level that he had at the beginning of that match, and Medvedev was able to find more of his game by the end. But still, Tommy Paul, great tournament for him, semifinalist. That's going to help the ranking, and that's a great result for him, losing to the number 3 in the world, or number 4 in the world, I believe, in Daniil Medvedev. So we've got the final. We've got Medvedev versus Alcaraz. That's pretty awesome. When's the last time they played? Medvedev versus Alcaraz head-to-head. Let me just pull this up quick. The last really big match that sticks out in my mind, anyways, was the U.S. Open final last year. No, they played in Turin in the finals, and Carlos Alcaraz won 6-4, 6-4. So that was a good win for Alcaraz, obviously. But one of the most memorable match for me the last time that they played was Medvedev beating Alcaraz in the U.S. Open semifinal. Playing very aggressive, kind of blitzing Alcaraz a bit, and Alcaraz didn't play his best and wasn't able to get in the match after going 6-1 down in the second set. So we saw Medvedev, out of kind of desperation in the Australian Open final, have to go all out against Sinner and play huge, play aggressive. And also, it'll be interesting to see how aggressive he plays against Alcaraz on the slower, grittier Indian Wells courts. I feel like Alcaraz has an advantage with the spin, with his athleticism, with his just creativity around the court. So I do think we'll see Medvedev come out trying to serve obviously his best and playing with more pace. That's just kind of been a general theme we've seen with Medvedev, is just playing bigger, hitting through the court, going for more winners off the forehand and backhand. And it'll be interesting to see what level Alcaraz brings. I think if Alcaraz brings a great level, he's got my prediction to win this over Medvedev just based on the court surface. But this is the type of match that you hope for at the end of the tournament. The two best players, the two other biggest names, the 2 seed versus the 4 seed, Alcaraz versus Medvedev. Who do you got? Who do you think's coming out of this? Do you think Alcaraz has found his kind of top game again? If he wins this tournament, he's right back there. He's won Indian Wells, defended his title. If he loses, you're kind of still like, is he back? Is he fully back? You know, his expectation after winning the US Open and then Wimbledon and just being the golden child of tennis is that he's just going to win all these matches. But Daniil Medvedev is still an unbelievable player. Obviously, there's the core four: Djokovic, Medvedev, Alcaraz, Sinner. We got 2 of them in the final. So this isn't going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be a great match to watch. I'm stoked for it. That's how they've got there. We've got Daniil Medvedev versus Carlos Alcaraz. Bingo. And it's going to be awesome. So we will see you after the final. We'll break it down. We appreciate you being here. If you haven't yet, smash the subscribe button and let me know what you think below in the comments. Thanks for watching The Slice.